The Waveline Media Floating Monitor Mount. To connect the Waveline Media Floating Monitor Mount, begin by sliding the top loop section of the mount assembly onto the top horizontal section of the frame. Next, use the included tape measure to center the mount assembly on the display. If you are using a 10-foot panel and mounting the monitor on one side, use the tape to measure approximately 30 inches from the outer vertical frame section. The exact placement can be adjusted later if needed. Once the mount is positioned correctly, raise the bottom of the mount extrusion approximately 3 inches off the ground to create a slight upward angle. Using the 4mm hex driver, tighten the set screws located on both the front and back of the mount loop. Be careful not to over-tighten the set screws. If the wall bracket is not already installed, insert two M6 8mm screws through the bracket and thread a T-nut onto each screw. Next, align both T-nuts so they are vertical. Once they are vertical, fit the T-nuts into the extrusion channel and slide up. Position the bracket so that the top edge is approximately 5 inches from the bottom of the mount extrusion. Once it is in the correct position, tighten the screws to secure the bracket in place. Once the loop mount and wall bracket are ready, carefully install the fabric graphic and fully close the zipper at the bottom. Once the graphic is secured, stand the display upright and attach the display feet. If any final adjustments to the mount or wall bracket are needed, they can be made at this time. At this point, identify the VESA mount pattern on the back of your TV. The VESA pattern refers to the distance between the mounting screw holes on the back of the monitor, measured in millimeters. You can easily find this information by looking up your TV's make and model and checking the manufacturer's specifications. Once you've identified the VESA pattern, adjust the mount plate as needed. Please note, if the monitor back is uneven, you may need to use the provided spacers to even the plate. For monitors with a 75 by 75 or a 100 by 100 millimeter VESA pattern, the extension arms are not required. For displays with a 200 by 100 millimeter or 200 by 200 millimeter VESA pattern, the arm plates will need to be installed. To attach the arm plates to the mount plate, simply secure them using the included M6 10mm screws. Once the mount plate is ready, use the provided M4, M6, or M8 screws, based on your monitor's recommendations, to connect the plate to the back of your monitor. Be careful and do not over-tighten these screws. Now that the monitor plate is attached to the monitor, gently hang your TV onto the wall bracket. To do this, hook the top of the mount plate on the back of your monitor onto the top of the wall bracket hanging from the display. Then pull the release string on the wall bracket downward and slowly swing the bottom of the monitor down and into place. Once the monitor is centered and properly positioned, release the string to engage the locking pin. Congratulations! Your floating mount is installed and your monitor is hung. Tuck the mount bracket string into the display cutout to hide the string from sight. When removing the monitor, pull the string down to release the pin. We also recommend leaving the mount bracket on the mount extrusion and leaving the monitor plate on the back of the TV if possible to make installation even quicker at your next event. Thank you for choosing Mod Displays.